Shanti Shanti.
Vidyate hridaya granthi. That means you find an expansion in your heart, that you no longer feel a constricted, I am only this, he is different from me, I have to get that, I have to get that, I have to get this, I have to avoid this, I am scared of this, I like this, I like that. All those things are constricting our identity. When all these are gone, the knots of the ego are all untied. We feel the release, the liberation, the release of liberation. Vidyate hridaya granthi. That is we call it the emotional fulfillment. Here this verse is talking about three kinds of fulfillment. The first one is emotional fulfillment. Hridaya is always referred to as the emotional hub of our personality. That ego is the constricted emotion. And when the ahankara, the knot of the ego is gone, then the constriction of the heart, the emotion we become expanded. We don't have the constricted identity. So, vidyate hridaya granthi. That leads to the emotional fulfillment. Until emotionally we are fulfilled, this knot will not be untied. Because we will still look for, as Nachiketa said, even if I am 2000 years old, I will still look for some desired fulfillment. I will not be fulfilled. So, when all the knots of the heart are untied, then we become emotionally fulfilled. Chidyante sarva samshayaha. Samshaya means doubt. Sarva samshayaha means all kinds of doubt. Our intelligence is not fulfilled because of doubts. Even when we have some kind of realization also, we may have doubt about the world. We may have doubt about the world means, why is this creation? Why Lord has created this? All those doubts might be there. Until those doubts are all dissolved. Sarva samshayaha, all doubts are dissolved. Chidyante, chidyante means cut asunder. So all doubts going means that is the fulfillment of the intelligence. So the first one was emotional fulfillment, the second one is doubtlessness, means intelligential fulfillment. These are the two aspects of our inner being, the emotion and intelligence, the mind and the intelligence. Both are fulfilled. Then kshiyante chasya karmani. Always we are suffering from kartritva bodha. If I have done something wrong, we suffer that I did this, I did that, why did I do that? If I did something great, then we suffer from the we become elated and we boast about I did this, I did that. And about future also we go on thinking that I have to do this, I have to do that, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. When will I be able to do this? Always this kartritva, that I am the doer, that is always haunting us and not allowing us to become fulfilled. We are always suffering from the kartritva bodha. Kshiyante chasya karmani means he does not become idle. It's not that he does not work. He may work 10 times the other people also, or 100 times the other people. But he does not have the doership. He doesn't think that I am doing all these things, I have to do that. Nothing like that. When that ego goes, this kartritva also goes. So this removal of or say, let us call it fulfillment of the emotional fulfillment, vidyate hridaya granthi, chidyante sarva samshayaha means intelligential fulfillment, and shiyante chasya karmani, he becomes kritakritya, fulfillment of all deeds. He doesn't have to do anything, but he does, whatever comes he does. He doesn't have the kartritva. So kritakritya, these are the three kinds of fulfillment which adorns the person who has seen tasmin drishte paravare, who has seen the truth not only high up in the heaven or only inside the heart, but he has seen the truth everywhere. That truth and truth alone reigns. All other things are appearances in that truth. The whole universe, which contains my own body, mind, personality also, they are all an appearance. They are all an appearance in that consciousness, the Atma, the Paramatma or the Brahman. In Kathopanishad, similar verses, actually in the beginning of the Upanishad, they will speak so much about the glory of the Atma, this, that and all, what is the Atma, what is the Brahman, all those things. But towards the end, always you will find that all these have subsided. They speak only about desirelessness, egolessness and the lack of doership. Kartritva bodha, the lack of kartritva bodha, lack of ahankara, all these things they will speak about. Similarly, Kathopanishad also, towards the end, 2 verses are there. It is 2.3.14 and 15. Yamaraja says, Yada sarve pramuchyante kamayesya hridashritaah athamatyo amrito bhavati atra brahma samashnute yada sarve prabhidyante hridayasyeha granthayah athamatyo amrito bhavati etavadhyanuशासनम् yada sarve prabhidyante hridayasyeha granthayah athamatyo amrito bhavati etavadhyanuशासनम्. See, here also they are saying, Yada sarve pramuchyante kamayasya hridishritaah. Yada hridishritaah sarve kamaah pramuchyante. All the desires which are sitting in our heart, when all of them are cut asunder, when all of them are dissolved, they are removed. Sarve kamaah pramuchyante. Martyaha amritaha bhavati. The martyaha man, the mortal man, now we think we are mortal. Always we are haunted by the mortality. That mortal man itself becomes immortal, not bodily. He discovers that I am immortal. How? He finds that his real identity is immortal. There is a shift in the identity, nothing else. So far he was haunted by the fear of death, mortality. Now he finds that I, which is our real identity, it never undergoes any change at all. Forget about death or birth or anything. Atra Brahma samashnute. Here itself in this world, in this body, the Brahman becomes attained. It is not after the body falls, going to heaven and then moving to some other world or this. Clearly Kathopanishad says, Atra Brahma samashnute. Here itself Brahman becomes actualized or realized. Yada sarve prabhidyante hridayasyeha granthayah. When all the knots of the heart are untied, broken, athamatyo amrito bhavati, then man becomes, the mortal man becomes immortal. Etavat hi anushasanam. He says, he finishes it saying that up to this is our instruction. There is nothing beyond. So see how much importance is this desire and the ego and the kartritva bodha, bhoktritva bodha. That is all that our Shastras will have to say. If we are serious about the sadhana, it all boils down to removing the kartritva bodha, bhoktritva bodha and all the desires and the ego. They are the last points of sadhana. Even Bhagavad Gita also says, Jnanagni sarvakarmani bhasmasat kurute tatha. That knowledge of this truth, knowledge of our identity, that burns off all the karmas. How does it burn? Not that he becomes idle, he doesn't do anything. He does everything, but he is no more haunted by the doership and enjoyship. That is the truth. Om Bhadram Karnebhiः Shrunuyama Devaः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवांसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः शांति शांति शांति
ओम शांति शांति शांति.
Let us go to the next verse. हिरण्मये परे कोशे विरजं ब्रह्म निष्कलम् तच्छुभ्रं ज्योतिषां ज्योतिः तद्यदात्मविदो विदुः हिरण्मये परे कोशे विरजं ब्रह्म निष्कलम् तच्छुभ्रं ज्योतिषां ज्योतिः तद्यदात्मविदो विदुः. So in the past 4 verses and then thereafter the other 3 verses, from 3rd to 6th, we said that it is absolutely sadhana oriented, and that too Om as a symbol. I had already explained that Om has 2 facets. One is Om is representing Brahma Vidya, so it is only a pratika, it is only a symbol which immediately reminds us of whatever concepts are connected with this truth, with the Atma, with the Brahman. In other way, the Om is used, the sound is used as a support for meditation, which is also very powerful sadhana. But there the knowledge is not taken into consideration. People meditate with the sound of the Om and they get into samadhi, because the Om is it's a very powerful and a sound which will automatically take us from variety, from infinite divergence, variety, fragmented nature of the world, to the uniform single nada, as I said, and then still beyond into the essence of our identity, the I or the Atma. I have already discussed about it, the misconceptions associated with Om, that as far as knowledge is concerned, it has various symbolic significances, but the main important is the concept which is associated with the Om. Wherever Shankaracharya has been, wherever there had been an occasion, Shankaracharya has clearly mentioned that it is to be regarded as the pratika, it is the symbol of Brahma Vidya. But while contemplating on it, we have to contemplate on the artha, the meaning, the lakshyartha, what it wants to mean, the final knowledge. That has to be in our mind. Now we come to the 10th verse or 9th verse. In some books there is a number difference, where it says that, again discusses that this sadhana, following this sadhana, where do you reach and where should we aim to reach? That is the main point here. He says, Hiranmaye pare koshe virajam brahma nishkalam. Hiranmaya means golden. Actually here the golden word is used as a brilliance. That too, when we go deeper into it, it is not the brilliance of physical light, but it is the brilliance of knowledge, revelation. Now he is saying Hiranmaye pare koshe, in the golden supreme kosha. These are all saptami, Hiranmaye pare koshe. Now kosha generally means something closed up, a vessel or a box, something which is encapsulating something. It is a closed up thing. Now when we are starting our sadhana, this kosha is important, because what we are generally used to is our focus is always outward. Our focus is always in the variegated world, all kinds of differences, likes, dislikes, blaming, hatred, loving, etc. Always the mind is occupied by infinite variety. Such a mind has to be, the focus has to be changed from outward to inward. It has to be taken inward, and the whole focus has to be there from where that I, that amness is coming. We have to take it there. So is it not initially collecting the whole mind from all over the world to my own center of our being, center of our real being, our real identity? So that appears to be a very small kosha inside. When we are starting our sadhana, it is a kosha, that means right in the depth of our being, that where from that I, the amness is coming out. We have to focus there. So he says Hiranmaye pare koshe. Now look at the next few words. He says Virajam Brahma Nishkalam. Now why did they say pare koshe? Because it is the supreme kosha. Although it is a kosha, it is the supreme kosha. Why it is supreme kosha? Because there we can find out, we can realize the supreme Brahman. By that process, by focusing on that lakshya, as they have said earlier also, Dhanurgrihitva Upanishadam Mahastram. That taking the bow and fixing the arrow, you have to hit the lakshya. Now here the lakshya is this Brahman, our supreme Atma, from where the amness is coming. Now there he is saying, what is that? It is supreme kosha because Brahman is there, the supreme truth is there. Our real identity has to be discovered there. But what is the real identity? Virajam Brahma Nishkalam. Nishkalam means which does not have any division, any fragmentation at all. There is no kala, there is nishkalam, there is no division at all, non-fragmented, uniform. So, and also virajam. Virajam means there is no rajas at all. There is no, rajas means basically activity, differences, fragmentation, dosha, mala, etc. There is no rajas at all. That means there is no activity, no change at all. It is beyond the cause and effect relationship. Where there is change, there is the cause and effect relationship. But in this ultimate truth, There is no such change at all. It is viraja. And it is nishkala. There is no division at all. No division means we have to take it to the final level of undivided, means non-dualism or Advaita, which means even the division of the subject-object is not there. In that level, in the Nishkalam Brahma, that I am knowing the Brahman, that kind of a division is not there. There everything has got merged into the same supreme reality. So this subject-object division, knower-known division, that also is not there. That is why it is Nishkalam. So can we call it a kosha then? It is not a kosha. There cannot be any spatial division, any temporal division, any other division at all. We are thinking of something which is beyond even objectude, not even the infinite space. There also I am knowing the infinite space, the subject-object division is there. Here that division also is not there. That is what is meant by Nishkalam. But why are they saying then kosha? Because to start with we have to focus within, in our heart, where from the I is coming. In our, as I said, Hrid Guha or Buddhi Guha, from where the amness is coming. We have to focus our attention there. You cannot get to this sadhana by focusing somewhere, focusing on the light, focusing on the tape, on the some symbol, or focusing at the camera, or focusing on the table. You cannot have it. You have to focus within, where from that I, the amness is coming. So it is a kosha in that sense. But when you reach there, it is a sadhana of going in, looking within. But when we reach there, there is no within, no without at all. There is no fragmentation. Even I am knowing, that also is not there. Simply that I gets merged into the ultimate truth, the consciousness, that is our real identity. So we have to be always bringing in, if this is understood, then all the shlokas will be understood. This is the crux of the knowledge. That we, to realize the truth, we have to go beyond duality, we have to go beyond the subject-object duality also finally. So then he says, Tat Shubhram Jyotisham Jyotihi, Tad Yad Atma Vido Viduhu. Shubhra. Shubhra generally we mean white, but here it is not white. Here it means Shuddha, it means pure. Now purity also, the moment we say pure purity, we will think in terms of objective purity. It is not objective purity. It is again the real purity is where there is no division. There is no even guna dosha division is not there. In Bhagavatam it is said, guna dosha deshir doshaha, gunastu ubhaya varjitaha. That even the dividing between guna and dosha is a dosha. The real guna is when we go beyond the guna dosha division also. So there is no division at all. The ultimate purity is where there is no division at all. That is the Shubhra, their meaning. But Shubhram, that is the Shubhra, the Shuddha, the ultimate purity. Jyotisham Jyotihi, that is the light of all lights, because with light we see the objects. But we cannot see them unless the consciousness illumines the light. Even the Surya, the source of the light, we cannot see the sun unless the consciousness enlightens the sun. So that this is the ultimate Jyotihi. Tat Shubhram Jyotisham Jyotihi. It is the light of all lights. Tad Yad Atma Vido Viduhu. This, who knows about it? Who know about it? Those who have known the Atma, their real identity, those who have discovered their real identity, they know this ultimate Shubhra, Jyotisham Jyotihi, Nishkalam, Virajam, Brahma. They come to know that. See, here we should remember why I am repeatedly calling it the greatest discovery in the world. It is greater than all other scientific discoveries and everything, because all discoveries are in the ken of objectude. And all the discoveries we have made, they have not been able to solve the problem of our fulfillment. Nobody has ever become fulfilled by the scientific discoveries or technological discoveries, which has changed the whole world. I am not belittling the discoveries. But the fact is that until we know this ultimate truth, that what our real identity is, we will not have fulfillment in life. and the society also will suffer from all kinds of violent thoughts. The violence will not go from the societies. There is no point in talking about no war, peace, etc. As long as violence is there in our mind, this war will also be going on.